welcome back. I don't really feel like pulling plugs today, so we're just going to try and pull apart some of these power strips. And see what kind of brass and copper we can pull out of here. Let's see. There's a little copper in there. It don't look like too much brass, but yeah, there'll be some steel there. We'll see where it leads us. You can see my hands are still kind of beat up from doing it last time. So I got some number 2 insulated there. You might as well just clip it up and clean it up now. I send my stuff in super clean. You know, I'm sure a lot of you do, just to make sure that we can get absolutely the best price for it. You know, if you're familiar with your scrap yard and you constantly bring them good, clean stuff, you know, they don't really squabble with you too much on stuff, you know. Alright, so there's another 2 insulated. Looks like we can pull these out maybe here. Probably a little copper in these too. We'll see. More brass. A little brass, and it looks like it's probably steel there. Might be a little, well, yeah, there's a little brass there. It's like garbage, and I'll try and maybe pop that out later, but I'm sure that's steel there. Yeah, you can see there's a little bit of brass in these ones, I guess, though. Pretty sure it's all brass there. I don't have my magnet with me to check. Alright, we'll set that aside. It's garbage here. Alright, this one looks a little better. See, this should all be brass in here. Again, it's not a lot, but you know, when you're doing it, it adds up. For some of these smaller pieces, it's better to use finesse rather than brute force. You know, otherwise you just end up marring it up. I mean, honestly, it could just probably just go in the garbage or you know, whatever. Most people probably won't bother it, but again. You see, I got a whole box, I got bins full of these low-grade circuit boards, so I might as well, you know. Okay, so I see a lot of these other big-time scrappers. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much for them to grab. It's not worth their time dealing with this stuff, you know. They're losing money at that point, missing out on stuff when they're doing this micro scrapping. You know, I could even pull copper out of there too. You know, out of there too, but I probably won't. Another low-grade board here and a little bit of more insulated number 2. And probably a little. This one's from the old shop, the old pizza shop. There's a couple of these that we had cords plugged into that were plugged into fans that were aimed at underneath the fridges, so they would keep keep everything cool in the summertime because everything was working so much. There we go. It's a little more just shred steel. They're only paying 65 cents a pound for this stuff where I'm at. But like I said, I do have well over 300 pounds of this stuff, so I should get a little better price for it. I would imagine. And how do we whack these things out? I think this is where the hammer comes in. Nope. This is enough. Honestly, the next one is if these aren't brass in there, then they'd probably just be better off in the steel shred pile and not even damn dealing with it. No, honestly, I don't know if that's brass in there or not. Honestly, this one would probably just be better off in the steel shred. And look how dirty it is. I don't want to take that fucking thing apart. Yeah, it ain't worth it. Yeah, so whatever. experiment on that one. I guess we saved ourselves some time on this. It feels like trash. Yeah, this one has some grass in there. So this one's, yeah, a little better than that flipping, what was that one? It looked like I'm not sure it's a Stanley or what this one is. No, Master Electrician. It just looked like yellow, but no, those ones suck. So yeah, it feels like steel there. Yeah, steel shred. Alright, what do we got here? This one feels pretty chintzy, but let's check it out. Plastic, a little brass in there. I know if you've done this before, you know what I'm talking about. I hate the smell of broken plastic, and believe me, if you've worked with computers or have done scrapping, you know what I'm talking about. Just flipping hate the smell of broken plastic. So there's a little more brass there. What we got? Let's see, I want to vacuum that up because I really just can't stand the smell of it. Can't stand that broken plastic shit. And honestly, I'm gonna go wash my hands. Well, that's probably good enough for now. I just wanted to get most of that up. Alright, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go wash my hands. Be right back. Alrighty, we're back. Yeah, sorry about that. It's just like I said, this stuff is, it's dirty, it's messy, and honestly, I should have rubber gloves. I have to pick some up from work. They'll sell me a box of them for $5 and it'll last me a while. I mean, they do tear easy, but again, you don't know what's in this crap, man. These things are from so old ago or from wherever. You flip, man. You don't know what chemicals are in these. The last thing is you want this shit on your hands, you know. This one I think we're gonna have to hammer because I don't see a way into it otherwise. Yeah, you don't know all this shit on your hands. You don't know what the fuck it is or where it came from. Alright, so sometimes you just gotta give a little smackaroo there. Honestly, this one looks probably the best one yet. Let's see. Oh shit, sorry about that. Yeah, you can see these brass ones are much heavier. Yeah, but you can see this is a much older one too. Best not to mess around with stuff if you're not familiar with what it is or you know what chemicals are in it. So yeah, we got a couple nicer chunks of brass out of there. A little bit more number 2 wire. And we got a pretty decent amount of brass here so far, I would say. I mean, 2 there. Ah, you fucker went over me. Well, I guess I'm taking a shower after this. Yeah, see, sometimes it just ain't worth it, you know? I guess I don't know what the fuck this shit is. Sure as fuck don't want to be covered in it. All for 20 cents worth of brass, you know? It's like, embarrassing. So rust rate around 2,000. Should do have an N95 mask there. Looks like there's a little more brass in there, but again, I don't want to fuck with this anymore. I'm trying to wash my hands again. I'm gonna get enough juice in this vacuum vac. So yeah, mostly garbage. Looks like there's a little copper in there. Muffin fan. I don't know why they call them muffin fans, but that's what they are. Maybe they look like little muffins. You can see there's a low grade board in there. There's a chunk of should be extruded aluminum. See, I'm not going to really do much to this thing, I don't think. I'm just going to go for the low grade board, just like that. So I'll maybe try to pull that chunk of aluminum off there. Yeah, I think I can do that. There we go. So yeah, there's a little chunk of aluminum there. I don't think that's extruded, but whatever. And that's just all going to go. I mean, you could, if I feel like it, maybe one day I'll smash that copper off there and stuff. There's a little more, but this one will be hard to get off there because you can see this one's soldered into the board. You know, unless that's a nice piece of extrusion with a chunk of copper in the middle, I usually won't mess with it. But yeah, so there's a little bit more copper in there if someone wanted to go further. Honestly, I'll probably just end up bringing it in as a low grade board. I'm bumping that a lot. Yeah, this is a lot of stuff I just had to get going through. It's been building up, and now that I'm indoors for the winter, we can get some of this stuff done. And nice long screws there. Probably stainless. I don't really bother separating out the stainless screws. It all just kind of goes in depending on the thickness of prepared steel. So yeah, that'll be an extruded aluminum piece there. You can tell because extrusion, it looks like it's been pushed through a machine to form it. Like this one looks like it's been cut and bent. You know, like this one you really wouldn't cut and bend that. It's been pushed, heated and pushed through a machine to form that. You know, that's how you can tell extrusion from non-extrusion. Again, it just, you'll learn to see it after a while. Everywhere you see it after a while, you'll recognize it. Like on railings, and like you'll just see the formation of it. It's like, yeah, sorry about that. I just wanted to get that off my hands. I still didn't do that great of a job, but shit, I should go wash those again. Yeah, I don't know if thermo paste is, you know, bad for you. Or not, it's a little better. It's still got some on there, but again, I'm no doctor, scientist. I don't know if that stuff's good or bad for you. I'm sure it's not too bad, but I don't want it on my hands. So later I'll probably try and pull that chunk of aluminum off there. Again, there's more copper in there, but I don't know. It's probably just going to go into the low grade board because I don't want to mess with it too much. Got some smaller ones here, those two. Gotta bust that one open. This one easier to bust open. No garbage. Again, I don't even think that, well, maybe it is, but either way, that's going in as a low grade board. There's probably more copper in there. Garbage. What else we got in the bucket of treasures? You can see it's getting a little low in there. I don't know what all this stuff is. There's another small stuff. We'll try to pull that one apart. Maybe that one. There's a few more of these. See what we can find. See what treasures we can find in the garbage. Oh yeah, these little tool sets are nice to have. I got this off of Amazon. That's what this comes with, all these different bits, and honestly they're good for taking apart hard drives and other computer or TV equipment. That's pretty handy to have, and I don't think I paid more than 30 bucks for it. It's got a little more brass in there. It'll be tough to say what we made today because there's a lot of different things here, and I'm not going to price it out. But I mean, you can do kind of do the math in your head and figure out, you know, honestly what's there. And sometimes it's a little more, sometimes it's a little less, but honestly, it all averages out to about $2-3 an hour. You know, depending on what you're doing. You know, like I said, some days you'll have good days, some days it's bad days. Some days you'll just get a bunch of cans and bring them in, make some quick cash. But honestly, for me in a small town of like 800 people, this averages out to about $3 an hour is what I get off of this. But again, it's not just it's a hobby too, you know. So growing up with 3 brothers, if we wanted extra cash, we went out and earned it. We scrapped cans, we split firewood, we went and found odd jobs, we mowed lawns. You know, we did whatever a kid could do to earn a buck. And scrapping is just one of those things that always stuck with me because it's easy to do once you know what you're doing. Alright, so yeah, it's going to be tough to say actually what we made today, but whatever. Like I said, we got a little more brass. I wouldn't say there's a pound of it there, but you know, maybe we'll weigh it up and kind of see where we're at. Yeah. Again, this will probably all just go in as a low grade board. I don't know if that's aluminum or not. There's a little bit there. That looks like junk. That looks like aluminum. Yeah, more low grade boards. thermal paste. I could, again, smash that copper out of there if you really want to. It's actually not that hard to get, but you know, it's not much. And just, again, do you want to do it? I don't know. I think a lot of these things, I like the idea of doing it, but once I start doing it, I just realize, this is more work than I want to put into it. You know, honestly, I already work a job, plus I do several side hustles. I clean my lawns. You know, there's just a lot of different things I do, so. I think these are going to be brass too. Pretty sure those are brass. If all else fails, grab the hammer. Again, see, now things are breaking, and that's not where I want to be at. I don't want to be fucking having to clean up fucking plastic all over the basement, so. There's probably a little bit more aluminum there. Thermal paste, more garbage, more stuff I don't want to deal with. So yeah, that'll probably just go in as a low grade board too. This one looks even messier than the other ones. Even more of a pain in the butt. Let's just clip that off there. And I can kind of just get a low grade board. I mean, if this stuff is, it's a different grade of steel, it's silica steel. I don't know any yard that'll pay you more for it, but I mean, I guess if you had like 2 tons of it, maybe they would. You know, if you could save that much, but yeah, that'll all be copper in there. This one will probably hack apart. You just take a hatchet or an axe and you pound through it and then pull the copper out. It won't be too bad, but even still, I think that could go in technically as like a transformer or a low grade motor, or a clean motor, or a dirty motor or something. You know, I don't know what your yard calls it or does, but again, copper in there. I'm glad I didn't smash that too much because it looked like it had a fuse in there. No idea. Yeah, that'll go in as a low grade board. There's a little copper there, but we're going to avoid that. I didn't know there was a bulb in there. So the last thing I want to do on top of breaking plastic anyway is breaking glass. That's even worse. You can see this is a dirty job, you know. Alright, so we pretty much weighed our way through that bucket. There's another switch in there. I don't really care about that. That'll go in as just steel shred. Same with this, actually. There is a little brass on there I'd like to pull off, but you can see how dirty that is and how much I'm going to have to fight. Well, actually, let's throw it in the vise and try it again. There. I mean, I did set this aside because it's brass. Like I said, I usually will go after every chunk of brass I can get because it adds up. Yeah, that wasn't too bad, I guess. I remember the story of my uncle. He had worked for a company. I won't say which one, but I don't think it's even focusing very well. But yeah, a little more brass. But yeah, he always came across little brass pieces, you know, and copper pieces. And, you know, again, these guys make really good money. One of the best unions in the business, you know. They make, you know, 60, 70, 80 bucks an hour, probably more if they got experience, but yeah, that's all dunked up. Actually, there's another piece on that end if we want to try, I guess. But yeah, he had just constantly saved all these little pieces just like this, you know, just every time he came across one, just threw it in the toolbox, you know, who cares? Well, over the years it built up, and, you know, he eventually brought in, he got $600 for it, you know, and again, this was 20, 30 years ago, no, probably even longer, you know, so the prices weren't even as high as they are today. Yeah, I can maybe clean that up, get a little more brass out of there, so maybe we'll do that. Yeah, the rest is just going to shred steel. Yeah, he put a down payment on a boat with that $600, so it was kind of a big deal, you know. And again, this is when, you know, 40 years ago, probably 30, 40 years ago. Again, that one's a little bigger. It might be worth taking the copper out of that one too, you know. The smaller ones, I don't know. Again, it's your type. Whatever you want to do. There are people that will go through it, micro scrappers. By all means, have at it. To each their own. It's what your time's worth. That's what it comes down to. And so for me to do this, it gives me something to do, and there's nothing to do, and it's a few bucks extra an hour, so why not? So again, yeah, I'll get a low grade board out of that. Honestly, I'll probably pull that off there and take the copper out of that one. It'd probably be a little bit more worth it to do it. More number 2 wire there. I don't know what those are. Normally these heat sinks, these ones kind of look weird, are aluminum, but these ones, I don't know, maybe they are. I don't really care. It's going to use a low grade board. Number 2. Yeah, at least we had, for the most part, made it through that bucket. Yeah, I'll pull those plugs apart, or pull these apart probably in the garage and pull those other chunks of brass out of there. I just don't feel like smashing them up here in the basement. So, well, at least we made it through that bucket today, and like I said, we got a lot more A lot more stuff to go through here. You can see we got quite a bit more of the bucket from last time. Got a whole bunch more plugs there. And I'll probably bring some more stuff from the garage we can pull apart, but let's do I'll do a go grab the scale and we can do. Alright, let's check it out here. We'll tear this out and see if we could alright. See how much brass we at least pulled in here. And some of this I might have to clean up just a little more here. Yeah, barely anything here. Yeah, that looks like it for the brass here. We're at about 5.36 ounces, so yeah, it was worth about, I don't know, 50 cents or so, but either way, it goes in the brass bucket. We got a little more brass. You know, honestly too, we pulled more into because of the insulated number 2, the boards, the copper we can pull out of there. So it's a lot more than just 50 or 60 cents. It's probably, especially with that little copper in there, if it was going to put a little bit more work into it and the steel. Again, it's $2. We got $2. That's what we got. We got $2 today. So thanks for watching.